Hey everyone, my name is Ryan Mentz, and if you have a heavy tripod setup, some serious gear on top, it can become a problem if you're trying to carry all this in the field for any length of time. And so LensCoat came up with this leg cushion here, and what this does is it allows you to carry the tripod vertically with the legs open, and it's a lot more comfortable to use than say when you have the wraps and you're trying to throw it over your shoulder and have the weight kind of behind you, and this puts all the weight centered over you, which I think makes everything feel a lot lighter. So I've been using the leg cushion for about the past month and a half, and a couple things I really like about it is that once you put it on, it just stays on, and so you can have the tripod closed up, you can have it open, and you can even have the legs completely spread apart so the tripod's laying flat, and this is going to be able to stay on the entire time without having to remove it. And another thing I really like about it is that these wraps here, they're just attached with Velcro, and they're wide enough to where it's just a one size fits all. So it doesn't really matter if you're switching tripods or you plan to upgrade later or you just have multiple tripods depending on the gear you're using. You can use the same leg cushion for all of them. And then I'm not really sure if this is going to be an advantage or a disadvantage, but it is kind of bulky. And that's nice when you're actually carrying it because the bulkiness equals padding. And so it's going to be more comfortable because of the bulkiness. But at the same time, if you try to just grab a leg and you get this padding with it, it's really hard to carry that way. So you have to kind of aim your hand and get used to grabbing this little tinier sleeve part. Other than that, I'd say it's a pretty fine product. It's held up pretty well over this past month and a half. I do a lot of bird photography, and so what helps me for like waterfall is I want to get as low to the ground as possible. So I'm constantly spreading these legs open, and this stretches to about the limit when you do that, but there's no tears and it looks great. It's not even actually really that dirty, which is kind of funny. And so a really quick demonstration on how to put this on. It's very straightforward and very obvious. This is what you get in the mail, and obviously these wrap parts are what's going to go over the leg. So you just kind of fit it in there, overlap the fabric. You're ready to go. So the leg cushion costs about 60 bucks. It comes in black and a few of these camouflage patterns. Like I said, it's one size fits all, so you don't really have to measure anything. You can just pick your color and go from there. So if you have a heavy tripod setup, I think the 60 bucks is going to go to good use with the leg cushion. It just makes a lot more sense to me to have all this weight more centered over your body rather than thrown over your back. And when you carry it with the tripod open like this, it's pretty nice because you can just set it down gently if you see an animal, rather than all the movement associated with throwing your gear from your back and then spreading the legs open. That's never worked out well for me. So I should also mention that LensCoat does make a similar product to the leg cushion, and it's the LegCoat Pro. And I've reviewed this before on fstoppers.com, and I really loved it. So I'm going to throw it on the tripod now, and I'll talk a little bit about the differences between these two. So as you can see, the LegCoat Pro comes with these 3 wraps, and these are actually sized for specific tripods. So before you buy them, you do have to measure the length of them and then also the diameter of your top leg of the tripod. And the difference between these Pro versions and the regular versions are going to be these Velcro strips, and they're on each of these wraps, and they correspond with the shoulder pad that comes with it. And so it's removable. But if you want to put it back on, you just attach it like so. And just like the leg cushion, it's going to allow you to carry your tripod vertically and with the legs open. And the disadvantage I find with the Pro version is that you can't spread the legs all the way open if you want to shoot ground level. You do actually have to remove at least one of these sides so that I can lay flat, and if you can tell, it's kind of loud. So if you suddenly see an animal and you need to drop low to the ground to meet with eye level, it might scare them away, which I do not like at all. And so the leg cushion does have that advantage. So there's a few advantages of using the LegCoat Pro. And one of those is that the shoulder pad sits a little bit lower than the LensCushion does. And so if you have your tripod open and your camera is about eye level, then this lower shoulder pad gives you more clearance from the bottom leg to the ground. So if you're walking over uneven terrain, you're going to be less likely to bump into anything. So another thing I really like about the LegCoat Pro is that it's a lot less bulky than the LegCushion. So there's less padding on the shoulder pad, but also it's not right up against the metal, so it doesn't need to be as thick. It just relies on suspension, and it's just as comfy, if not more comfortable. So like the LegCushion, there's a limited amount of space that your shoulder is going to fit into with all that padding. Whereas this, you can have bigger shoulders and it's going to be more comfortable, I think. And then finally, these sleeves feel great. So they're very comfortable. They're sized for your tripod, so it has a lot more length to them. And since it has the perfect diameter, they don't slip with the non-slip back. And so if you need to pick your tripod up, move it a few feet, or if you're just grabbing your tripod from the car, holding onto these is awesome. So for just $20 more, it's actually a pretty tough call because these sleeves are really nice and the shoulder pad feels awesome. It's just that disadvantage of not being able to spread your tripod flat without undoing this loud Velcro and getting rid of the shoulder pad first. Because if you're trying to photograph animals, that's kind of a deal breaker. So honestly, I think after I'm done with this LegCushion review, I'm probably gonna take this shoulder pad off, pop the LegCushion on with these sleeves. I think this is what I'm gonna do. Just pops on right over the sleeves. So it's kind of best of both worlds. There you go. So if you already have sleeves that came with your tripod, or you already have the LensCoat ones, I think the thing to do would be to buy the LegCushion and just add it onto your system rather than buying the LegCoat Pro. And then if you don't already own sleeves, I think the thing to do would be to buy the LegCoat Pro because it's a nice kit that comes with these 3 sleeves. You get the shoulder pad with it. It's only $20 more, so go with the LegCoat Pro if you don't have sleeves. Go with the LegCushion if you already do have sleeves. That's my opinion. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. Hopefully you got a better look at these LensCoat products. Like I said, you're not going to make a wrong choice here. They're both really nice. I'm probably going to rock both at the same time. So if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe, please hit the like button, and happy shooting.